If your food gets stuck in your throat, even once a week, this is not normal aging. It could be the very first whisper of a condition that doctors call sarcopenic dysphagia. But I'll tell you right now, it's not just a fancy medical term. It's the silent warning that your muscles, yes, the very muscles that help you eat, chew, and swallow are quietly wasting away. And when they go, your independence follows. I once had a patient, Mr. O'Campbell, 78 years old, proud Korean War veteran. One morning, he choked on a piece of soft toast. Not steak, not popcorn toast. His daughter thought it was a fluke. 2 weeks later, he couldn't even drink water without coughing. And just like that, the walker entered his life. The feeding tube followed 6 weeks later. Muscle loss in old age doesn't just show up in your arms or legs. It steals your voice. It steals your dinner table. It steals your joy. And here's what makes it even more dangerous: no one talks about it. Not your family, not your friends, not even some doctors, until it's too late. So I ask you, have you ever coughed during dinner and brushed it off? Does your loved one take longer to chew or skip meat altogether? Type 1 in the comments if that's ever happened to you. Type 0 if it hasn't yet. And please subscribe so we can stay connected. I don't want you missing the next warning sign, because this might be the video that saves your life. Number 1, why muscle loss attacks. Your swallow first. Let me tell you something most doctors won't say out loud. It's not your teeth. It's not your age. It's not a dry mouth. If food sticks in your throat, if you need to drink water just to push it down, then chances are your throat muscles are shrinking. We call this sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and when it hits the muscles that help you chew, swallow, and breathe, that's when it becomes sarcopenic dysphagia. And this is more common than you think. According to the National Institute on Aging, 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 60 is already experiencing some degree of sarcopenia. That's over 25 million people quietly losing strength, not just in their arms and legs, but in their jaw, their neck, their chest. And guess what? Swallowing is not a reflex. It's a coordinated muscle workout involving over 30 muscles from your mouth to your esophagus. If even one link in that chain goes weak, the entire act of swallowing becomes dangerous. Think about it like this. You wouldn't expect your car to run well if the transmission and brakes were rusting. So why expect your body to function if the muscles that move your food are deteriorating? Here's a story I'll never forget. Helen's 74 years old, lively, a retired school teacher. She came into my clinic because she was having acid reflux. But as we talked, I noticed she sipped water after every bite of food and kept clearing her throat. Her daughter said, "Mom just eats slowly now." But I knew better. A quick swallowing assessment showed her pharyngeal muscles were weak. She was silently aspirating. In plain English, food was slipping into her lungs without her even knowing it. Had we waited another 2 months, she could have ended up in the hospital with aspiration pneumonia. So don't wait. The muscles involved in swallowing start to weaken before your legs give out. It starts with subtle signs: you cough while eating. You avoid dry food like bread. You feel tired during meals. Then it gets worse. You lose weight, but it's not fat. You eat less not because you're full, but because it's exhausting. You become afraid to eat around others. And that's how dysphagia leads to isolation, malnutrition, and eventually dependence. Now I know what you're thinking, but I still walk every day. I don't feel weak. That's great, but walking works your legs, not your swallowing muscles. Unless you're doing targeted training and eating the right foods, you might still be slipping into a catabolic state where your body breaks down muscle faster than it builds it. And that's the real enemy. Not age, not gravity, but slow, silent muscle breakdown. So here's my question to you. Have you or someone you love started eating slower, skipping meat, or sipping water between bites? Are meals becoming work instead of pleasure? Leave a comment and tell me your experience. Your story could save someone else's life. And stick around, because in the next part, I'll show you why most doctors overlook this diagnosis and how you can protect yourself before it's too late. Number 2, why most doctors miss it. Let me say this straight because someone needs to. The reason most older Americans lose their ability to swallow is because no one looks at their muscles, not their arms, not their legs, not their jaw, not their throat. We've spent decades treating symptoms, but ignoring root causes. Here's what usually happens. You go to your doctor, you say, "Doc, I've been coughing a lot when I eat," or "food feels stuck in my throat sometime," or even "I've stopped eating meat, just too hard to chew." And what do? They check your throat with a scope. They test for acid reflux. They might prescribe antacids or tell you to avoid spicy food. But you know what, they rarely check your muscle strength, and that right there is the problem. The medical system isn't trained for this. Most doctors, even good ones, aren't trained to connect swallowing with muscle health. They'll look for tumors, infections, even neurological conditions like Parkinson's or stroke. And those are real risks, yeah. But in millions of seniors, the real cause is simpler and sadder. Their muscles are shrinking, and no one notices. The term sarcopenic dysphagia didn't even exist in U.S. medical literature until the late 2010s. It was first defined by Japanese researchers in 2012. Western journals didn't even begin to explore it until 2017 or 2018. And even now, most internal medicine physicians don't screen for it. No muscle tests, no grip strength checks, no nutrition review, no swallowing exam unless you're already choking. The stats should scare you and wake you up. According to the CDC's National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, over 43% of adults over 60 already have low muscle strength. That's nearly 48 million Americans who are quietly growing weaker every day, some of them right now, sitting alone, wondering why they feel off but can't explain it. And among those with trouble swallowing, a 2024 study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that 72% of seniors with dysphagia had measurable sarcopenia, but less than 1 in 10 were ever treated for it. Let that sink in. More than 7 out of 10 had muscle loss causing swallowing problems. Yet doctors kept treating the symptom, not the source. This is like seeing a wet ceiling, but never checking the roof. And here's the danger. If your muscle loss isn't addressed, every system in your body starts to fail. You eat less, you absorb less, you stop chewing protein, you get weaker, you fall, you stop moving, you stop speaking clearly, you stop swallowing safely, and that's how the walker comes. That's how the hospital comes. That's how feeding tubes enter the picture. So what can you do? You can take charge, because here's what I've learned in 50 years. No one will fight harder for your health than you. That means asking better questions. Can we check my grip strength today? How much protein should I be eating? Could this be sarcopenia, not just reflux or nerves? And yes, you might get a blank stare, because most doctors don't expect these questions. But that's okay. You're not here to be polite. You're here to stay strong. If your doctor doesn't take you seriously, find one who will: a geriatrician, a speech-language pathologist trained in swallowing therapy, a clinical nutritionist who understands protein metabolism, and above all, don't dismiss the signs. Don't tell yourself it's just aging. Don't say maybe it'll go away, because muscle loss doesn't go away. It accelerates unless you take action, and the sooner you start, the easier it is to reverse. Are you hearing your body whisper, or waiting for it to scream if your meals have become slower? If you sip water just to swallow toast? If you're avoiding steak, apples, or even sandwiches? That's not just picky eating. That's a muscle problem in disguise. And like all muscles, the ones in your throat follow one rule: use it or lose it. But here's the beautiful truth: you can use it again. You can train, you can feed it right, you can bring back strength. So I want to ask you now, from doctor to patient, from human to human, have you ever had a swallowing problem dismissed by a doctor? Type yes if that's happened to you. Type no if your doctor actually helped uncover the cause. Your comment could validate someone else's pain, and your voice may be exactly what another person needs to finally speak up. Stick with me, we're not done. In the next part, I'll walk you through the exact 3-step plan to rebuild your swallowing strength. Without pills, without surgery, without shame. You don't want to miss it. Number 3, the 3-step recovery plan. Let me be very clear. You can reverse sarcopenic dysphagia, not with pills, not with surgeries, but with a system simple, science-backed, and safe. I call it the 3-step swallow strength protocol. And yes, it works, but only if you do it consistently. Let's walk through it. Step 1, protein. First, every meal, every time. Most older adults eat less than 60 grams of protein a day. But studies from the Tufts University Friedman School of Nutrition show that people over 60 need at least 90 to 120 grams of high-quality protein every day to maintain and rebuild muscle. That's about 1/2 gram per pound of body weight. And no toast and coffee in the morning, don't cut it. You need real protein, eggs, Greek yogurt, whey shakes, chicken, lentils, fish. Protein is the raw material for muscle repair. Without it, no exercise or therapy will help. And remember, swallowing muscles are muscles too. Start with your first bite of the day, not carbs, not fruit, but protein. Step 2, resistance before rest. If you want to stop muscle loss, you need to send your body a signal to grow. That signal is movement, but not just walking. I'm talking about resistance-based training, even light things like the neck stretches with gentle pressure. Jaw opening holds, chin tucks against a towel, shoulder blade pinches. Do it daily, just 10 to 15 minutes. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends at least 2 sessions a week of strength-based exercise for older adults. Why? Because muscle is a use it or lose it tissue. When you contract a muscle even gently, it sends a message to your brain and gut. We need this. Don't break it down. And yes, even swallowing exercises count. There are free video guides online from speech-language pathologists approved by the American Speech-Language Hearing Association, ASHA. Use them. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You need commitment. Step 3, hydration, posture, and timing. You can eat the right food and do the right exercises, but if your body isn't ready to swallow, it won't help. Hydration is the key. Dehydration makes your saliva thick, your muscles sluggish, and your coordination slower. Drink at least 64 ounces of water a day, that's 8 cups. Spread it out, then posture. Always eat sitting upright, with your chin slightly down, never lying on the couch, never slouched. And finally, timing. Eat slowly, small bites, no talking while chewing. Give your body time to work. You're not rushing to catch a bus. This 3-part strategy protects the pathway from mouth to stomach. It rebuilds muscle. It restores confidence. It returns joy to the table. Now listen carefully. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Today, start with 1 more egg at breakfast. Start with 5 minutes of jaw movements. Start with a glass of water before each meal. Momentum is medicine. You've spent a lifetime building strength. Don't let muscle loss steal your voice, your smile, your favorite foods. You can reclaim it. If this 3-step plan makes sense to you, type the word START in the comments. And if you've already started, tell me what's helped you most. Your story matters. In part 4, we're going to bring it all home, the emotional payoff, the truth no one's telling you, and what to do next to protect your future. Stick with me. Let me leave you with a truth backed by science and felt in every quiet nursing home across this country. According to data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, published by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 43% of Americans aged 60 and older have reduced muscle strength. That's nearly 1 out of every 2 seniors, And that number is still rising. We're not just talking about difficulty climbing stairs. We're talking about not being able to chew, not being able to swallow, not being able to rise from a chair without help. Reduced muscle strength is not just a weakness of the body, it becomes a weakness in dignity, confidence, and independence. But here's what the statistics won't tell you. You are not powerless. Muscles can be rebuilt. Strength can be regained. And joy, yes, joy can return to your life. All it takes is a decision. You don't have to change everything today. You just need to take one strong step. Eat the protein, do the movement, raise your voice, ask your doctor the tough questions, advocate for your own health. Because if you don't, who will? I want you to leave me a comment below with just one word: strong. If you believe it's possible to fight back, if you believe your body is still worth rebuilding, and share this video with someone who eats alone, someone who clears their throat too often, someone who's lost weight without trying. This may be the video that gives them back their strength. And if you found this message helpful, please subscribe, not for me, but so we can walk this road together. Your next step. Join me in the next video, Prevalence of Reduced Muscle Strength in Older U.S. Adults. You won't believe what's sitting on your plate each morning. See you there.